Everybody, welcome back to the Clem R YouTube channel. Now, before we get into the video, drop a like, click subscribe. We're going to get straight into this because this is going to be a long video. I have... It's heavy. I don't have enough room to record videos like this. I can't wait to move out like the end of next year. I'm going to have my own space to just sit and record. There's going to be like nothing behind me. It's going to be nice and I can make it look pretty and make it how I want it. We have some spaghetti with some veg and some chopped up chorizo. That what good pussy sounds like. What not called? Fine, that was. Anyway, I'm going to be sat eating that. I've got a glass of Pepsi, and we're literally going to go through like as many transfers as possible. Obviously, Messi leaving, that's a whole different argument, but we're just going to go through Premier League. I'm only going to pick out like big names. So I'm going to go through. I've got a list of everything that's confirmed so far. I don't know how well this is going to go. It might end up being just a little bit of a ramble for now and discussing sort of like the big ones, and then we go and do like pot 1 all the way down to pot 4 like I did last year of all the confirmed transfers for all the clubs once the transfer window's closed, which it does close 31st of August, so end of the month. I expect that, ready for my birthday. So Arsenal have brought in Nuno Tavares from an undisclosed fee, according to Arsenal. Albert Sambi-Lokonga for 15 million. I think that's alright, it's one for the future, isn't it? And then they're going to sign Ben White for £50 million. Now, in my eyes, that is not good business. I'm sorry, it's not. I'm going to be brutally honest here. £50 million for a Brighton centre-back. It's just outrageous prices. I know he's good. I know he's got a great future ahead of him, but 50 million is well expensive. It just is very expensive. Danny Ceballos has gone back on the end of his loan. Matt Ryan's gone back end of loan. Ødegaard's gone back end of loan. David Luiz's contract's expired. I don't know what's happening with him, to be fair. Saliba and Guendouzi have both gone to Marseille on loan. Everyone else is pretty much nobody. Apologies if you play for Arsenal. Aston Villa, I think they have had the best transfer window other than Man United, and we'll discuss. They have got rid of Jack Grealish for 100 million. Now, I rate Jack Grealish very highly. I do like him. He's an arrogant, cocky, but backs it up player. I think he's well suited to Man City, to be fair. They do like them sort of left wing, right wingers that actually can play as more like attacking midfield roles rather than actual like also traditional wingers. So I think having a player like Jack Grealish at Man City is good. But for 100 million, you don't turn that down. You don't. That's the sort of money for one player that you go, yeah, okay. They've then invested in Axel Tuanzebe on loan. Danny Ings from Southampton. That's a great backup striker, to be fair. Because Aston Villa still have who? Ollie Watkins, who I think should play ahead of Danny. Oh no, Danny Ings is solid though, isn't he? That's tough. Them two are now fighting for places. Both very, very good strikers. They've signed Ashley Young from Inter Milan on a free transfer. If they'd have paid for Ashley Young, I'd have been a bit like, that's an odd signing. They've got him on a free transfer. That's just a great squad player to add to your club. Experienced player. They've signed Emi Buendia, who I rate as a player, for 38 million. That's a great reinvestment of that Jack Grealish money. I know technically they signed him before they sold Grealish, but Grealish was always going at some point, wasn't he? So, like we say, it was always going to happen. And then they've signed Leon Bailey for, I believe, something like 30 million. If I want to Google that one. Leon Bailey. Less than 30 million? Is it less than 30 million? How much did they pay? 28.5 million. That is a steal. Leon Bailey is such a baller. Like, if you don't rate him, you don't know him. I'm pretty sure last season he was linked to like Arsenal, Spurs, Man United has been linked to a few times, I think. And he's gone to Aston Villa for 28 million. That's a steal. Out of the club, El Mohammadi's contract has expired. Tommy Heaton has gone to Man United on a free. Neil Taylor, Bjorn Engels, all of these Deadwood players have gone. Louis Barry has gone to Ipswich on loan. That will get him some game time. And then, like I say, Jack Grealish for 100 million. Brentford have signed Frank Onyenka for an undisclosed fee, and they've actually signed Christopher Ajer for 13 million. Now, if you've played Football Manager and you play as like a Brentford or a Norwich or a Newcastle, Ajer is one of the first players you sign. You can get him really cheap, and he's a solid centre back. So Brentford have been playing Football Manager, and they've gone, you know what, he's highly rated. We can get him for a relatively good deal. I actually think that's a solid signing. Progressing from that, let's just hope he does well. If he's actually a bit shit, then 30 million isn't the biggest of losses, but they haven't really signed anyone else, and they've got rid of 4 players. But like I say, I don't know enough about these players to know whether they're any good in the first place. Brighton, they've got rid of Ben White for 50 mil to Arsenal. They've got rid of a lot of players as well. Matt Ryan's gone to Real Sociedad for an undisclosed fee. Davy Propper's gone to PSV. Few loans. I assume these people I've never heard of before. But then they've brought in a guy called Jeremy Sarmiento from Benfica. Never really heard of him. Enoch Mwepu from Red Bull Salzburg for an undisclosed fee. Again, never really heard of him. Kjell Scherpen from Ajax on an undisclosed fee. And Kaoru Mitoma from Kawasaki Frontale for an undisclosed fee. They don't really shout confidence to me. They've also lost Ben White, arguably their best player last season in terms of a defensive position. Yes, they've got rid of him 50 mil, but I don't really think they've replaced him with any of those players. I think there are a few players out there you could probably get on loan, even for an actual transfer that will do a job at Brighton, that are much better than the players that have come in. Then again, I've never heard of them all, so let's hope they do a job. Now, Burnley, as per usual, have done absolutely fuck all this transfer. Wayne Hennessy has joined Burnley on a free transfer from Crystal Palace. He just seems to get around the block, doesn't he? Nathan Collins is in from Stoke, and out is just a few players. Contracts expired, free transfers, loans, just a bit shit, really. Like I say, this isn't an extensive list. This is also being recorded on Tuesday to be put out Thursday. So, if things have happened since, I apologise. Now, Chelsea coming in, we have actually signed Marcus Bettinelli from Fulham on a free transfer. It's not too bad, is it? We signed as a goalkeeper because Willie Caballero left because his contract's expired. So that's fine. I know for a fact we've signed Lukaku for like £95 million. I've put on Twitter like 2 days ago that I was really unsure about this transfer. I think when you put it in a context of Lukaku's our striker, Werner on the left, Pulisic on the right, or Hudson-Odoi on the left, and Ziyech on the right, or Mount on the left, and I don't know, Pulisic on the right again. When you say it like that, Havertz in just behind Kante, Jorginho holding midfielders, it sounds incredible. But I'd have preferred Haaland. And I think as a fan's perspective, everyone, I don't know whether it's just because it's one of two things, like Lukaku's tried and tested in the Premier League, yes. It wasn't incredible. he didn't hit the ground running. He did all right when he was at West Brom, but then he looked good in a bad team. He then tried for Chelsea, it didn't work out. He tried for Man United, it didn't work out. I understand that in them systems he wasn't quite working. So let's hope that under the Tuchel system he'll impress, and I think he will. I'm hoping he will. So that's my sort of reservations. But on top of that, you've got the fact that we could have signed Haaland. We could have. We just didn't, and we settled for Lukaku. It seems a little bit bittersweet. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think Haaland's a much more. What's the word? What is the word? Attractive. Haaland is a much more attractive transfer. Like, he's young. He's lighting up the world. Next year he's going to go somewhere for cheap. So we need a team that has money to buy him before that happens. Wow, okay, who's going to do that? Chelsea were going to do that. They didn't want to spend stupid amounts, which I understand. But we've now just got rid of Abraham as well to fund the Lukaku. Why didn't we just get rid of Abraham to fund fucking Haaland? I don't get it. Like, you spend the extra 40 million to get Haaland, no. Anyway, out of the club, Zamarri has gone to AC Milan on 25 million. That again was a little bit bittersweet. I was a fan of Zamarri. I don't think he really got given time while he was at Chelsea under Tuchel. I actually think it'd fit Tuchel's system quite nicely. Thiago Silva in the middle, Rudiger on the left, Zamarri on the right, or Zuma on the right, Christensen on the left. I think we have options at the back. And Zamarri, there's just too many options. And in my mind, Zamarri was not the one that I wanted to leave, but he has. So. Caballero's contract expired. There's too many that have gone out, whether it's on loan or on a free transfer or on an undisclosed fee, but we'll go through the main ones. Billy Gilmore's gone to Norwich on loan. Really want to see him do well there. Victor Moses has finally left the club and gone to Spartak Moscow. Giroud has gone to AC Milan for I think £2 million, maybe £1 million. Mark Guehi, the centre-back, has gone to Crystal Palace. I think that's a great signing for Crystal Palace. He was never getting ahead of any of the other centre-backs at Chelsea. So making a move's good, and actually Crystal Palace, I know have got rid of a few players. In fact, they got rid of a lot of players, so Guehi going is actually great for them. Lewis Bate has gone to Leeds, and Tino Livramento's gone to Southampton. So big transfers there. Moving on to Crystal Palace. This is actually my dinner, so I need to eat this. They've signed Michael Elise from Reading, Mark Guehi from Chelsea. They've signed Joachim Andersen from Lyon. That's how I think it is. It actually is a centre back. He was at Fulham for a bit, wasn't he? So he went from Lyon to Fulham for 14 million. Oh, it was a loan fee, sorry. Yeah, for a 900,000 loan fee. He then went back to Olympic Lyon, and now he's going to Crystal Palace for 15 million. You know what? That's a solid transfer, I think. Tried and tested in the Premier League. You know, he's not the best footballer in the world. He's not the best defender in the world, but he's a solid signing, especially for. Right, they've got rid of Gary Cahill, Scott Dan, Andros Townsend, Nathaniel Klein, Wayne Hennessy, James McCarthy, Sacco, Van Arnold, Wickham. Connor Wickham, that is. They've got rid of a lot of players over the age of 30. Like a lot. Like that's Sacco's a centre-back, Scott Dan centre-back, Cahill centre-back, Nathaniel Klein right-back, Wayne Hennessy goalkeeper. That's a lot of their defence they've lost. And up until recently, they were first-team players. So they need to replace them. Mark Guehi, centre-back, class signing for Crystal Palace in my eyes. Got a good future ahead of him. Joachim Andersen, a solid centre-back. Not like Chelsea, Man United solid, but mid-table solid. Michael Elise in that midfield role, class. Everton have brought in Andros Townsend on a free, Asmir Begovic and Damari Gray. That one's an absolute mad one when I saw that go through, you know. Damari Gray, you know, had quite a good future at Leicester, but then was like, no, I'm going to go to the Bundesliga and play football. And I was like, you know what, that's a good move, because it gets you into a great team at Bayer Leverkusen. And, you know, it gets him game time. Then Bayer Leverkusen go, you know what, we're going to sell him. Okay, that's fine. A young English talent, you expect 10 mil upwards. £1.6 million. That's like, if we're taking the million out of this, like, you'd pay a tenner for someone. Like Damari Gray, you'd say, yeah, £10 is reasonable. £25, yeah, reasonable. 25 mil, reasonable for a player that's a left winger, English talent, great. Going back to Everton, great. That's like him being on sale at £1.60. Just deep that for a minute, because like 100 mil is just like spending 100 quid nowadays for football clubs. So if you deep it, they've just spent £1.60 on Damari Gray. It's a thinker. Out of the club, Theo Walcott's gone to Southampton on a free. Josh King's contract's expired. Balassi's gone. Robin Olsen's gone. I don't think anyone else is really of note. Mate, Leeds have had a sick transfer. I didn't even know this. What? So, Jack Harrison has joined Man City. Joined Leeds from Man City, sorry. Which I said at the start of last season when they got him on loan. I said, hopefully they'll make that permanent, because he was very good for Leeds this season. He played 36 matches and got 8 goals. In my eyes, that's solid. You know? How much is he signed for? 11 million. That's so cheap. He's great. He's 24. He's young. He's a left winger, right winger. That's a great transfer. They've then gone and signed Junior Firpo, who I rate. That's another one on Football Manager or career mode that you go and buy straight away. Barcelona left back / left wing back ish. Assuming that he's going to like replace Barry Douglas or whatever his name is that plays left back for Leeds. As I said that, I looked, and Barry Douglas's contract has expired. So Barry Douglas, being as old as he is, they've let his contract run out, and they've gone and bought Junior Firpo for 13 million. That is an incredible signing. They've signed Lewis Bate from Chelsea. I'm not actually sure whether he's going to get like first team, because it'd never get first team at Chelsea. Leeds actually have a relatively decent midfield with them. It's Phillips and like Klish, however you say it. So I don't know whether he'll get in there, but he'll be a great sort of squad player. And then Christopher Clausen from Villamenga, don't know who that is. So like I say, out of the club. Pablo Hernandez, bless him. Apparently that was a really good send-off for him. Apparently it was like really nice. He walked around the stadium and whatnot. And it's sad to see him like... Is he retired now? On this it says contract expired, but I know that he might have retired, I don't know. Berardi, he's gone. Katina Berardi. Barry Douglas is gone, contract expired. Alioski's contract expired, he's gone. And Kiko Casillas gone to Elche on loan, fair play. So, oh no, it would say retired, because Wes Morgan's says retired at Leicester, so that's the first one we'll start with. Christian Fuchs is gone. Matthew James is gone. Don't know anyone else. But Leicester are at this stage now where they've got a great foundation of players. They've got Iheanacho slowly coming through, taking over Vardy, and I think that's working well. There's just a few areas they need to improve on. They've brought in Patson Daka as their sort of backup / Vardy replacement if Iheanacho isn't going to be the Vardy replacement. Of which can play door front. Patson Daka next to Iheanacho might be pretty sick. From RB Salzburg, 23 million. I'd say that was was a relatively perfect sort of fee. If I was to estimate a sort of price that you'd go, that's good for both parties. Like, it's not overly extortionate, but it's also not cheap enough to think, oh, that's a bargain. 23 million, perfect price for Patson Daka. Boubakary Zamarri from Lille to go into that CDM spot. Presumably like an Ndidi replacement if Ndidi's leaving, or maybe as an Ndidi backup, I don't know. Even next to him for 17 million. Again, that's sort of like a perfect fee. It's like around about that 20 mil mark. It's a little bit cheaper than that, but again, it's probably what you'd expect to pay. Then Ryan Bertrand on a free transfer. He actually played very well in that Leicester Man City game that I watched, so fair play to him. Wes Morgan retired, Fuchs contract expired, everyone else not too sure. Liverpool. We'll start with the outs. Harry Wilson's gone to Fulham for 12 mil. That's fair. I didn't really see him being a Liverpool player for too long. Marco Grujic has gone to Porto. Undisclosed fee, not really sure about that. Wijnaldum left on a free transfer, we already knew about that. That was already arranged before the end of the season. For me, that's a weird one. If you were Liverpool, you try and keep him, but he obviously wants to go to PSG. Can we just admit PSG's transfer philosophy this window has been absolutely fucking incredible? They got Donnarumma, Wijnaldum, and now Messi on a free transfer. That will never be topped. And then in the club, they've only signed Ibrahima Konate so far, from what I can see. You'll have to let me know if Liverpool have signed anyone else, but like I say, when it comes to the end of the transfer window, hopefully that will be updated. But again, that is another player that is just sort of, it's perfect for Liverpool, isn't it? Like, next year, if you're playing 5 at the back on FIFA, you're gonna have Konate on the right, Van Dijk on the right, Konate in the middle, and Varane on the left. For them perfect links. That's insane, isn't it? But another reason Konate just works well is the fact that he's very versatile. I think he can play wing back. So if at any point Liverpool, if they decide to go to a back 3, which Klopp will never do, but if they do, he can play on the right of a back 3, he can play centre back, he can play right back. I think it just works. So if Trent ever picks up a bit of an injury, right, Konate to right back, bring on Matip or bring on Gomez. Class. Man City's transfer is so strange. It's confused me a little bit, because they have Foden on the left, they have Sterling on the left, they have Bernardo Silva on the right, they have Mahrez on the right. You don't need wingers. You have De Bruyne in midfield. You don't replace De Bruyne, not at this stage in his career. And you go and sign Jack Grealish for 100 million. Now, like I say, I love Grealish. I want him to do well, and I do think that he'll play well under Pep. I just don't know whether they needed him. And for 100 million, that's way too expensive for him. I'm sorry, it is. That is the English tax. That is everything we talk about when we say English tax. And at a period as well where Harry Kane wants to leave Tottenham and Man City lose Aguero. Come on, you're meant to be. They're just throwing money. If they do sign Harry Kane for like 100 million, then it's just a waste of 200 million pounds. It's just sort of confused me. There are other areas on the pitch that Man City needed to improve, especially this season. It's going to be a tough season for them. Barcelona out to Barcelona on a free. He might actually be back at Man City in a few weeks, because Barcelona can't register him still. Even after Messi leaving, they can't register Aguero. Eric Garcia's left on a free transfer. I think they did him dirty there. I think it might have been Garcia's choice. Joe, let me know. I know you're watching this, so let me know. Eric Garcia, Jack Harrison to Leeds. I think that was a good one for Jack Harrison, to be fair. He was never getting ahead of like Grealish, Sterling and Foden, so never going to happen. Anyway, Man United. I think they've had, in terms of the big six, the best. Easily the best. Transfer window. Tom Heaton on a free transfer. Great backup keeper, but you have got Dean Henderson and De Gea fighting for a place, so Tom Heaton's not going to play. Jadon Sancho for 73 million. That transfer finally went through. It's not as if we've been waiting for like 18 months for that to happen. But like I say, it's one of those where it made sense, and it just works, doesn't it? Jadon Sancho to Man United, it just makes sense. No matter what club you support, it was always just going to happen. And I think 73 million is probably about right. He is in that upper bracket of tier of player. And like I say, it's not 100 million like Grealish was. It's 30% off, so it's reasonable. It is expensive, but it's reasonable. And then they've also, it doesn't say this on here because it's not official yet, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen within the next like 20 minutes, knowing me. But Varane, for me, that is fucking insane getting Varane for like £34 million. That is stupidly cheap. And people are out there, and I've seen it on Twitter, them going, oh yeah, but he's finished. He wasn't the same as what he was like 2 seasons ago. And mate, Real Madrid weren't the team that they were 2 years ago. That's not down to Varane. That's not down to Ramos. Their loyalties obviously lay elsewhere. They obviously had a season where things didn't go well for the club. The club were literally trying to start a Super League. They'd probably been told 100 million different things about their contracts, about what was happening, this, that, the other. Their minds were probably elsewhere that season. Varane is still one of the best centre-backs in the world currently. Him, Ramos, Van Dijk, Thiago Silva to a push. Maybe he's not in that bracket anymore, but he was. Chiellini and Bonucci are still playing. Ruben Diaz and Stones, they're sort of up there now. They're doing incredible. This is what I'm saying. I'm comparing them to like Stones and Diaz because they're the only comparable people in terms of like Manchester, in terms of like English football. Varane is coming in to the Premier League to be arguably one of the top 2 centre backs between him and Van Dijk, and we're going to see that battle when it's Liverpool Man United. That's insane, and I'm looking forward to that. I really wanted Chelsea to sign him, but it was never going to happen. He always wanted to go Man United, from what I heard. That went cold. I'm saving the rest of my dinner tomorrow at work. Let's crack through these. At the club, they've done also very well. Tuan Zabi's gone to Aston Villa on loan. Like I say, that's great for Tuan Zabi. Sergio Romero's contract expired. Joel Pereira's contract expired. Probably the best. Not the best players. Tahith Chong's gone to Birmingham on loan. Class. Newcastle. Moving on. I'm not just kidding. Out the club, Andy Carroll. Christian Atsu. Probably 2 players that should have gone about 12 years ago. Other than that, no one. And they haven't signed anyone, which is typical Newcastle. Norwich have brought in. This is what I want to see, because I want to see how good Norwich have been. They've brought in Miller Rashica from Werder Bremen. Do you remember him like on FIFA like 3 years ago? He used to just pack his like inform card or special card, whatever it was. Angus Gunn from Southampton, that's pretty solid. What a great keeper. Kenny Coker from Southampton, don't care. Ben Gibson from Burnley, okay, fair enough, decent. Dimitris Giannoulis from don't know about him. Pierre Lise Malou from Nice. Is that the midfielder? Lise Malou. Pierre Lise Malou. It actually is. That's a solid signing. 28 years old. He played 29 matches last year. He's 28, so he's coming into his prime. And they signed him for £3.5 million. That is a solid sign. Norwich. Well played. Billy Gilmore on loan and Josh Sargent from Werder Bremen as well, the striker. Tell you what, fair play. They've released Nyland. Emi Buendia has gone for 38 million. I think they probably could have got a bit more off Aston Villa for Emi Buendia, but then again, 38 million is a nice amount to reinvest. And if you add, 3.5, add 8 million, that's 11.5. Add 9.4, so say 21 million, they've still got another 15 million they can spend on maybe a centre back. I think that's what I'd do at that moment in time. Probably pick up a centre back. Southampton have brought in Brozier from Chelsea, Walcott from Everton, Livramento from Chelsea, Dino Simu from Chelsea, and Roman Parraud from Stade Brest. Not the best transfers in my eyes. Livramento is going to be a great transfer. I do rate him. But they've also let go of Danny Ings, Lamina, Angus Gunn, and Bertrand. So I don't necessarily think the people that they've brought in are necessarily better than the ones they've got rid of. Tottenham have signed Christian Romero for 47 million. They've got Pierluigi Collini from Atalanta, I think it's the goalkeeper. And then probably the strangest transfer I've seen this year, Brian Gill from Seville for £21.6 million. If you'd have said that, I'd have gone, okay, he's a young Spanish talent, fair enough. But they also added Lamela to the deal. Now, again, if it was a straight swap for Lamela, I'd have gone fair play. They've probably done alright there. I don't get it. Like, Lamela, even if he was worth about 15 million to 20 million pounds, which he is in my eyes, if, I don't know, Roma or Inter Milan were going to bid for Lamela, because they're the type of teams that would, you'd think, okay, 15 million pound, 22 million pound. You put that with another 22 million pound, and you're looking at a 44 million pound transfer for Brian Gill. That's stupid. It's fucking stupid. And you've got rid of Eric Lamela's wage bill only to add it to another guy. Outrageous. Gazaniga's contract's expired. Danny Rose has gone to Watford on a free. Juan Foyth has gone to Villarreal on an undisclosed fee. Eric Lamela's gone in the swap deal. Joe Hart's gone to Celtic. That's a great signing for Celtic, by the way. Watford. Fuck yeah, now. Right. What? They've signed so many random players. Right, they've signed Danny Rose on a free. Class. No one else of note. Oh, Juraj Kuka from Parma. I recognise that name. That's a midfielder, if I'm not mistaken. Josh King, but it says unattached. If they sign Josh King on a free transfer, that is again another great transfer. Out of the club, Carlos Sanchez. I don't recognise anyone else. Philip Zinkernagel has gone to Notts Forest on loan. Big up Forest. Oh, Akraf Lazar. His contract expired. They've gone. Not that I'm interested in that. West Ham have signed Pierre Ekwa Elimbi from Chelsea on an undisclosed fee. Another great talent coming out of Chelsea. Love to see it. Thierry Nevers from Reading. Don't really know much. Armstrong Okoflex from Celtic on a free. Don't know much. And then Alphonse Areola, who's gone from PSG to West Ham on loan. I rate him as a keeper so much. Out of the club of Felipe Henderson, Jesus Christ. West Ham have this habit of signing Brazilian talents for a season, then just chucking them back. He's gone to Lazio on an undisclosed fee. Fabian Balbuena has been released, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, no one else really of note. So not the best, not the worst for West Ham. We have Wolves. Oh my god, who have they got in goal now? Wolves have done a madness. Right, so Jose Sá, I think, is the keeper. Because he is, the Portuguese goalkeeper from, where was he? Was he at Porto? No, is it Olympiacos? Of course it was, yeah. So Jose Sá has joined because Rui Patricio has gone to Roma on an undisclosed fee. Fair enough. Ryan Ait-Nouri. So we got a lot of informs over the past Man City on a free, don't know who that is. But then Francisco Trincao has gone from Barcelona to Wolves on a loan. He's Portuguese, it was always going to happen. Then out the club, Rui Patricio. Sadou Diallo's been released. No one else of note, really. No. Okay, so I hope you guys have enjoyed this little bit of a transfer roundup. We've sort of gone through everything. Like I say, I might do more of a sit down sort of 4-part episode of these if you want to see it at the end of the transfer windows at the end of the month. So sort of once a week throughout September we'll go through them, because then I can start talking about how they've performed. Without further ado, I shall catch you later.